Joey Reese and Biggie Fruit Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joey Reese and Biggie Fruit Shop. Pickle time is happening.
I think I've come to this point in my life where I heard a guy explain his take on the Bible.
Uh-huh.
And I think it really hit home for me. And
You gonna try this whole Bible thing out?
yeah. Huh. I was thinking about it. No, there's what's a way to say this? I'm cavemaning my way through this.
I
So,
decided to try Jesus.
So, you learn about all the stuff growing up and in youth group, and then you kind of move on with your life and you bring some other ideas into your life, and you kind of focus more on like what you think things meant or mean in the Bible and stuff. And then other people throw stuff at you, like where did dinosaurs fit in and how are the pyramids made? And, all these different things get like thrown in, and you kind of meander and you kind of learn your way through life. And you look back and you know that you made some mistakes in certain places or you were overzealous maybe in certain areas. And I heard the Bible explained a certain way that I'm going to tell you. And I think it's such an amazing way of thinking about what the Bible is that it literally takes the pressure off as a Christian. And that explanation is, and this might be what you guys already knew, but the way that it was put to me made me think this for the first time. Okay.
All right.
Here it is.
I'm ready.
The Bible is simply a book about relationship between you and God. It is not describing how the world was formed. It does not tell you how the pyramids were made. It does not, the Bible is not for people to go and say, why is this in the world? Like, how was the earth formed? How was this made? Why do birds fly? All these different things that come from the outside, right? That come from science and that come from all these different things. The Bible isn't here to explain that. And
Yeah.
so like by hearing that and hearing it put that way, made it to where it like clicked something in my head that's like, absolutely. Like it's okay. It's okay as a Christian to say, yeah, I have no clue how the pyramids were made. No clue. No clue at all. And it's not like, you know what I mean? But like people have all these theories all the way to aliens, all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know how they were made. I'm as curious about how they were made as you. I'm as curious as to how the earth was formed as the next person. I know that God did it, but I don't know how it was done. And I just think that like by hearing that made me realize like all this stuff, like whether it's social issues, whether it's historical stuff that's not biblical historical, you know what I mean? That's like, that didn't happen in the Middle East, that maybe happened in Japan or happened in Russia or happened, with Native Americans, whatever the case may be. Like, if people are like, well, if Bible thumpers are like looking to the Bible to solve those mysteries, it's not there. And it's okay to say we don't know. Like the Bible is simply for our relationship with God. And so I wanted to know, I don't know if I explained myself correctly.
That's cool.
You might give a 2-word answer and be like, yeah, no joke. And then we move on. But I thought that was really interesting.
I think that's very interesting. I think, like what you're saying, I think that Christianity gets bogged down. Like the weeds of it are what I keep saying is that like Christianity or the Bible, both are not about being good. Like you have to believe that like the Old Testament was about being good. Like you had to try and be good so that God would have favor on you. And it was to show that we were not, not like, here's how the pyramids were built. Here's, this Genesis story that's going to be taken literally so that you believe the world was really made in 7 days, and that any reference to anything else that's scientific that goes against that is demonic. It's not that. It's like the Old Testament being like, here are people that are not even Bronze Age trying to explain how the earth was created. And it's in like stories that have been passed down about Abraham and Isaac and all this stuff. So it, again, like we get bogged down in the weeds and we're like, well, this is a story about how Abraham wasn't good and then he got punished, or, he was good because he had faith and he almost sacrificed Isaac, and that's how you should be with your kids. Like, these are not instructions. Like, it is not like, dress like this, wear sackcloth and try and sacrifice your kid, and then God will step in and give you a ram at the last minute. Like, it's a story. It happened. I believe that. Like, I have faith to believe that, but like, it's not telling you how to live your life. And then I think the part that we get bogged down the most in is just that, like, people in the church feel that like all scripture has equal value. Like, they act like that, but they say that, but they don't act like it. Like, nobody is talking about Song of Solomon's as much as they are about, Isaiah. And the reason being is that like Isaiah is way more easy to apply. Like, okay, well, if I don't have faith, then this happens. Or if I do this, then this happens. Like, you're not talking about how hot your sister's breasts are. That's not something we talk about in church, even though it's in the Bible. Like,
Yeah.
it's in the Bible. And if you're like, it's all God breathed and it all has the same value, why aren't you talking about it like that? Like, it just isn't. Like, they talk that, but then they don't act like it. And so I just feel that like most of scripture gets used in like this kind of like life lesson on how to be good. Like, it's like, it just keeps getting boiled down to lower common denominators. It with this idea that it's about being good. And then here's the consequence if you're not good. And this is a story about this guy not being good and you need to be good. But like, I think that you don't need that. Like, Jesus says his burden is light. And the reason is because he was good on your behalf. So like, if that is done away with, this whole idea we have of going to church or boiling down these stories about like, this is a cautionary tale and you need to be good. If it's just about that, like Jesus, so no matter what you do, you can't fuck up because Jesus has paid for that. Then what? Then it is about relationship. It is about like, what do you want me to do, God? Like,
Yeah. So I hear what you're saying. For me, this thought process came along because a friend of mine at work who we talk a lot at work about the Bible and just about like weird stuff. And he was saying that he believes in Jesus, he believes in God. But he also like believes like his words is he believes that the people that put the Bible together, I'm using his words, the people that put the Bible together left things out so that they could become rich. And so I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, I believe that like when Jesus was teaching, that Jesus gave us medicine. and like how to defeat cancer and all these different things. Like he believes that like Jesus, you know, when he healed people, he not only healed people, but basically gave the recipe on how to heal people. But the people who put the Bible together have left that out for themselves to make money. And
Yeah,
so we get these conversations and I'm like, so where is that? So where is that company?
Yeah,
That's-
don't you think that would have leaked a little bit?
Exactly. So we have these conversations like this, okay?
Uh-huh.
And so that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of painting this picture. We also have, I've already brought it up. We have these conversations about the pyramids. And he's like, Joe, what the pyramids, it just does not make sense. Like archaeology, all this stuff, like just slaves tugging on a rope, putting these massive, 12-ton stones in place exactly where they need to be. There's modern engineers, there's modern architects that have no clue like how that could have been done that way. If certain stones were taken out of a quarry that were 12 miles away from where the pyramids were, and then they were brought there and put there. So he's like, I think there were giants, I think there were aliens, all this stuff. And he's like, and his thing is always, where is that in the Bible? I think people left that out of the Bible.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully now I'm painting that picture of like these issues that people look to the Bible for, and
There's no answers.
there's no answers. Like,
Right.
buddy, I can't tell you how that stone got from that quarry to there. Like, because an engineer that you heard on a podcast said there is no way slaves with rope and logs moved that 12 miles and then took it up a pyramid and placed it exactly where it needed to be, like exact. And our conversations have been for years. We've talked for years on this. These are the conversations we love having together.
That's cool.
And I would always try to explain to him something Bible based. I would always try and come up with something Bible based to be like, well, I wouldn't go with aliens. I wouldn't go with it. Like, I would always try and then as of like about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I heard this guy on a podcast, and he kind of said what I'm basically regurgitating what he said. And I was like, that's exactly it. That like when I went back and I talked to my buddy, and the next time we had one of these conversations, I had to tell him, I'm like, hey, I recently heard this. You can't look for those answers. The Bible isn't set up for that. The Bible is not a handbook on the history of humankind. That's not what it is. It is a history, and a limited history, of how God has worked in people's lives during this time. Obviously the major one is Christ, being part of the Trinity and stuff. That's the big one. The other ones are like kind of these hand-picked stories that, that are in there. But just as you said, like a lot can be gleaned from these stories. A lot of stuff has happened to people that aren't in the Bible, right? Like you and I, we've experienced stuff that, oh my gosh, that could have made it in the Bible. Different things like that, but it's not a history book. It's not a science book. It's a self-help book. It's a relationship book between like you and God.
Well, there's like this whole historical thing where people want extra books. Like they want to say like this got cut out of the Bible, and because we want it to do more. We want it to be more. We want instructions, right?
Yeah.
Like we need that. We need, because if religion, and especially Christianity, has been for 2,000 years just telling us what you're not doing right. Like, well, then what? We all want the instructions. Like, how come I'm not healing people? How come I'm not speaking in tongues? Like, I'm not seeing all these miracles, or I'm not hearing God. How come this?
Yeah.
Why isn't God telling me what to do? Just like I have this conflict internally. Like, I pray with my kids because I want them to have this. I want them to learn about, like, hey, it's okay to talk to God like he's your friend. These are things we should talk about with God because we're worried about grandma, like, God, please heal grandma, or please heal my friend Brian, or, all this stuff. I don't know if it's good, but like, I can tell you, like, if I tell you that God answers my prayers, I feel like I'm lying. I don't know. And when people ask me to pray lately, I've just been like, you bet, man. Like, I am doing this because I care about you. I don't know if God listens to me. I don't. I want there to be more. I want more instructions. But that's not what the Bible is. And you can be like, all day, they left something out. Have you read the stuff they think they left out? Because it's not there. Like, it's not, you read the book of Enoch, like, it's questionable who wrote it, came like 200 years after Christ. All these things that people try and glom onto, like, oh, did you know there's a Gospel of Judas? No, there isn't. Like, there isn't. It wasn't written by Judas. It wasn't written, like, he didn't survive his suicide attempt. It wasn't an attempt. He did it.
Yeah.
But like, these kind of things are like, there's a Gospel of Mary Magdalene. No, there isn't. Like, most people who go to seminary at least believe, like, okay, what they did to pick through this, to figure out what books go in the Bible, it's pretty good logic, that they were like, these books were included in the Talmud. These books, like, this is Hebrew scripture, that the Hebrew language has a numerical value, and like, they can tell it's copied correctly because it matches the mathematical pattern. So like, what else has that? Like the writings of Confucius, you could be like, absolutely, that is not correctly, that has not been, written correctly. And it's not being, we don't have original manuscripts, but like this we do, like, they can carbon date manuscripts from the apostles or from the people that wrote the Bible within 30 years. Like, it's pretty sound logic that these books are in the Bible. It's pretty it's pretty evident that they've been maybe mistranslated, but like, you can go back to the original Greek and definitely go back to the original Hebrew, that they picked these books because it was like people that knew Christ, or people who knew Christ knew Paul, and they spoke well of him. These type things. They knew Timothy. Paul talks about Timothy. He writes a letter to Timothy. Like, all this stuff. It makes sense. But what you're saying is like, it seems like it's not enough. There's not enough information. And to me, either that means God doesn't have the power to speak to us, to give us the right answers, or that's not what it's about. I think he has the power, and that
Right.
it is not about it. It's not about who built the pyramids. It's not about becoming magic. It's not about us living on in these bodies and having the cure for cancer. It has to be about us knowing that we're loved and sharing that love with others. It has to be about, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. And then that sums up the entirety of Scripture, that Jesus just asks us to do that. And
Right.
if we're not good at it, he died for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. And that's what my initial bringing it up, it puts a lot of things kind of in context, a lot of things that, man, I have this like shooting pain in my knee right now. It puts like a lot of stuff in context, or it just makes you say, I don't need to worry about that. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like the bird stuff, like the first time I went through that plateau in life was after my divorce. Like, so when I got divorced, and then your whole world's kind of been rocked and turned upside down. And, and we've talked about this multiple times on the show, where then all of a sudden, like, all the man-made church stuff just doesn't hit like it did before your world was torn in two. It's like when your world blows up, you can see the fake and you can see the facade for what the truth is. And the truth is, each and every single day when I needed God right there, when the only thing that I had was my faith, to kind of get you up and get you to that next day where you get to see your kids, and, just all that, whether it's social, financial, physical, all of that it's just each and every single day relies on your faith. Every moment, every minute relies on your faith. You really start to realize, like, all the garbage that goes on in the church is just that. It's absolute garbage. And so I feel like I got to that plateau, and I feel like kind of with the realization of what we've just talked about is kind of like a next plateau, like a next step in like my development as a Christian, and my development in my faith, because, for 47 years, I've tried to come up with answers for people that say, how were the pyramids built? And you try to come up with like a biblical answer. And I just, at 47 years, you realize, no, I don't. No, I don't know. I'm as curious as you are as to how those things were built. Like, on the day that I die and I stand before God, if he says any questions, yes, please tell me how the pyramids were built. I'll ask those questions so many questions to ask, but you're not going to find it in the Bible. You're not going to find that.
Even like with modern means, like to quarry and cut those stones and to move them and place them, like, it's almost impossible now, like, to do it that accurately. And like,
yeah,
that
exactly.
They say that just like the stone cutting, like to have stones, you couldn't even get it with lasers, or to set them the way they are, like how ordered they are to go up. That, like, they're saying it's nearly impossible with modern technology.
Yeah, and that's what my buddy constantly says. He's like, Joe, modern technology can't even do that. Like, that's what he's blown away by. But he looks towards the Bible for those answers. And because he can't find those answers, he believes that vast portions were left out so people could get rich. And he thinks that, like, the major construction companies of the world, like your Halliburtons and your whatevers, are the like great grandkids of of whoever wrote that part of the Bible. Like whoever wrote the part of the Bible that, like, you know, the book of the book of physics, and that part of the Bible that's supposed to tell you how machines and mechanics and math works.
Yeah.
That was left out. And then the book of Beaumont that talks about, you know, surgeries and how the human body works and all these different things. He thinks because he can't find those answers that those must have been left out. Like there's a shady reason why it's not in the Bible.
I think that's why it's so easy to manipulate people too, because like, I think all of us want that. We want like a rule book, or like we want the Bible to be this book of answers that it is not. It is confusing. If you go at it with that angle, if you're like, you know, even people that are just like, God, give me a verse, and they open it up and they point to something and then they go off that, like, confusing. Like it is. I'm not going to say that doesn't work, because I mean, God can do whatever he wants. He can work however he wants. But like, if you memorize the Bible, you're going to be still confused. Like it is still written by people, you know, like atheists will always be like, see, the Bible's got all these flaws. Like you can read in the book of John, he says this happened, but then, you know, like there's going back to Judas killing himself. There's like one of the gospels has his entrails like spilling off of a cliff. The other one has him hanging himself. So like, you know, we kind of mesh this together. We're like, well, he hung himself and then his guts fell out. Like, I don't know. Maybe like the point is that Judas killed himself and they heard about it. They weren't there. Yeah. You know, like here is the account from a fisherman. You know, like here's how this fisherman told this person who wrote it what he was like, what he saw Jesus say and what Jesus did. And like, I do believe that God is sovereign over that, but like, we're not seeing it as this is this guy's account. You know, this is Luke was a physician and he had to write down what Peter said. This, you know, this illiterate fisherman. What did Jesus say here? Then, you know, like, and maybe Peter's like in some trance and just spouting stuff out. But like, it seems more like Peter is giving his side of the story, and it is going to be a little bit off from, you know, from Matthew, who is literate and, you know, like he's a tax collector and he has this other slant, or, you know, Paul's accounts of like what happened versus the book of Acts, you know, like Paul's this highly educated guy, you know, like he's a philosopher and he writes things very poetically and he speaks 4 languages, you know, versus Luke, who speaks probably Hebrew and Greek and is a physician, you know, like what do you do? What did doctors do back then? Right. Set bones. Maybe you could, you know, sew up wounds, you know, I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
He didn't go to medical school for it, you know, he probably learned it from somebody but like, they're going to see it different ways. And it's not that God wants it all to be like in sync to prove that the Bible is this you know, this text that tells you how to live your life, because he doesn't. It's not that. It's not like a guidebook. It is like enough. It is an accounting of these people seeing Jesus, who breaks down all of, you know, Hebrew religion and says, I have done this, you know, like I have lived a sinless life so that you don't have to. What I ask you to do is join me in my suffering, love one another, and love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Like that's where he's at. And it's all these guys from different walks of life just talking about that. You know, or the stuff that's in the Talmud. It's like Moses telling somebody all these stories that have been passed down. Like, it's not like an eyewitness account of what happened to Adam and Eve or
Right.
Abraham and Isaac.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Oh, I'm yawning. Sorry.
yeah, I don't know. I like that you are thinking about this and talking to this guy. It sounds very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, but yeah, so that's what's been going on. That's what's been going on with me and my chit chatting with people. But you want to bring this to an end?
Joe, look at how far I'm into my second $5 bottle of water here in the hotel because I didn't want to get up and stop our podcast. Guys, this is what your money is going towards, is this $5 bottle of
No, that could, you didn't charge that to the room? Have the company pay for that?
oh yeah, you know what? I can't expense it. So never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Good thinking.
We're trying to think of anything else that let me check my notes. I had like a couple of things, but oh no, the other thing was the math problem.
Math problem.
We're gonna do that next week. And I just want to repeat, $10 supporters. If you are listening to this, if you are hearing this, get in touch with us. Get in touch with me, with Reese, with Daniel Rock, so we can set up interviews for you guys. I'm gonna get them done so we can
So we can quit doing this podcast.
yeah. So right, exactly.
Check that off the
Jeez.
list and then we're done.
I figured by now we would have like 10 Patreon supporters. We have 99. We're
Yeah.
not getting rid of them. So we got to keep doing it.
Bummer.
Yeah, but that's that. I think I'm cashed. I think I'm done.
I might. I have to still work on work here at the old Hilton, whatever this is. Hilton something. Myrtle. I don't know what this hotel is called.
Look up Benjamin's Calabash. See if that's there. Take your phone out
Okay.
since you're in the area.
No,
See if Benjamin's Calabash still exists.
Benjamin Moore. Wait, Captain Benjamin's Calabash Seafood. Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
It
Yeah, the
does
original
exist.
Benjamin's Seafood Buffet in Myrtle Beach.
It does exist.
It's closed right now.
It has atmosphere. That's good to know.
You're just not going into a vacuum. Soon as you open the door.
I wish this place had atmosphere. Oh, they got a website, captainbenjamins.com. Okay, looks like I want to salute him. Get
You
him.
got to go there. You got to go there tomorrow.
I'm not eating any more seafood. I can check that off my list. I ate 6 plates.
Oh.
I still feel
What was on the 6 plates though? Like you're saying you ate 6 plates, but what was it 6 plates of?
what is a wad of crab legs called? When it's just like one side
wad?
of the crab? A wad.
I think that's it. A wad.
I ate 4 of those.
You ate 4
I-
crab wads.
4 crab wads. I ate about 30 peel and eat shrimp. I ate
Oh,
about
See, I don't like
20
peeling.
fried
I like where
shrimp.
you're already.
Yeah, they didn't have that. They just had fried, and those no. But I did eat a bunch of those. I ate some fried oysters. I ate about 15 crawdads.
Okay.
I ate a salad. I ate 2 things of green beans, 2 things of fried mushrooms, I ate a steak. It
Oh
was
my
small.
goodness.
It
Who
was
were
like
you
this
there
big,
with?
but I
Were
ate
you
a
there with
steak.
coworkers? Or were you the only
They-
one that went from your building?
No, we were all there, and they're like, "Dude, are you going up again?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is plate 4." And then plate 5 came, plate 6. They had the desserts. They had baklava and these Greek donuts. I had to go back to get more Greek donuts. It was
I
so
hate
good.
baklava.
Oh, it's so good, Joe.
No, I can't stand it. The one thing I like
Huh.
is the Greek or like Middle Eastern pastry. They're like they look like little donut holes and
Yeah,
they're just covered in like honey.
that's what they had.
Yeah.
I ate like 4 of those.
Yeah,
Oh, they were
those
good.
those I can
Mhm.
screw with. But baklava, some about the puff pastry with the honey, I can't. It's a texture thing for me.
Well,
It's
there was
not a
also
taste thing. It's a texture thing.
sausage. I ate some sausage and jambalaya. They had jambalaya.
Oh
I
man,
feel very full.
yeah, you should. Yeah,
But I think about it right now, and I kind of want to go back up for another plate. If I was
do it.
there.
Do it.
Can't. I don't know if they didn't give
Just
me
go
a
back and say you were in
wristband.
the bathroom.
I was in the bathroom. They were like, "Sir, you paid your bill.
You're
You
like, my
paid your
zipper
bill
was
3
stuck.
hours ago."
My zipper was stuck.
Come on, help a brother out.
I just wanted some more crab wad.
Yeah, they did have a sentence that asked about our lobster tail, but I forgot to. I could have done that too.
Oh my goodness. How much? Like, if someone just went there, how much is it? Is it like
that-
$50?
Yeah, $49. I think it's less
Okay.
for kids, but like, what a waste that would be to take my kids to that thing because they'd just be like, "I don't want it."
Right, exactly.
There's no way. I mean, like, even if they're like $30, my kids are not eating $30 worth of seafood.
My
It's just
kids,
not.
my kids make fun of me because I took them to a buffet once, and I can't remember the buffet. I don't know if it was I think it was a Chinese buffet, and I took the kids there, and they came nowhere close to like eating what it cost for the buffet. And so my kids make fun of me to this day because like on the ride home, I was like saying comments, and they were like, and so like now at 20 and 18, when we were going and they were 10 and 8, like now they like make fun of me. They're like, yeah, dad's up front talking crap about us that we didn't eat till we would puke to get our money's worth. Like, oh, it's just so funny. I'll have to ask him what that was.
Thanks for the eating disorder, Dad.
That was exactly it. I was like, why did I even bring you guys? They were like,
Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
Why did you bring us? But
You know what? One time when I was like 10, my dad took my sister and I to all you can eat seafood buffet in Cincinnati. And I remember
oh,
for the 3
in
of us,
Cincinnati.
I know, fresh seafood. Why is there a leg with a foot still attached to it? A human
Oh.
leg with a boot.
It's just a bunch of filet-o-fish patties out
Yep.
in the. Oh,
Well, it wasn't bad. I remember I ate shrimp and I ate some fish, but they had caviar, and my sister and I did eat the caviar. For some reason, we're like, this is really good. And so we were just like, and the wait staff is starting to hide it from us because they're like, they're going to put us out of business. But like, I just remember my dad, this is like 1983.
oh wow.
And I remember he spent $100 and he was like visibly shaken at like how little damage we did at the seafood restaurant.
I'm gonna
so-
look up what $100 was in 1983.
Oh my gosh. But it
How
got in
much?
my head. So now when I go to the buffet, I'm just like, all right, Dad, I got you. I am eating my weight in seafood.
Oh, listen to this.
Uh-huh.
$100 in 1983 is the equivalent to the purchasing power today of $316.
Oh my gosh. Yep. That's about what I would feel like taking my kids to seafood for $316 and just being like, oh, why did I have you? Why?
Oh, I remember one of
Why
the
didn't
best
I pull out?
one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. I had in New Orleans with Micah. Micah and I went into a restaurant, and it was a crab cake, and on top of the crab cake was a poached egg, and then on top of the poached egg was caviar.
Oh my gosh.
But it wasn't like caviar that like you hear of, like the beluga whale caviar, obviously.
Yeah.
It was like caviar from fish from the area around New Orleans, and it was bright orange. Like it looked like big bright orange tapioca like bubbles or balls, whatever. And you cut through it, and then the poached egg ran through like this nice big crab cake with the caviar. It's something that at my age now I probably wouldn't order. Yeah. But back when I was 20 years old, 19 years old, I was like, I'm going to order that because it sounds like it wouldn't be good. But it's got to be good because it's on the menu. And then it was top 3 meals I've ever had in my life.
Wow. It sounds so gross, Joe, but I would eat it.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up, man.
All right, man.
I am yawning and falling asleep. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting.
We'll
talk to you next month or next week, actually.
Next month. Tomorrow's my favorite holiday, Joe.
Oh, April Fools. It's our anniversary. This is what, 5 years?
Next year starts year 5. Started in 2021, April 1st, 2021.
Yeah. April 21st, 2021. We've been doing this for 4 years, man. Holy cow.
Yeah. Did we start in 2021? Yeah. Yeah, we did. I didn't have a job.
I thought we started during COVID.
It was COVID.
Wasn't that 2020?
I see. That would have been like No, we didn't, because I had a job then.
Okay.
When we started, I didn't have a job.
Okay.
That was the sales pitch. You were like, I'll give you money. All right.
No, but
I love you guys. What?
No, but that's when we started doing Patreon. We were doing it free before that.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Because when you didn't have a job is when you were just taking all the Patreon money to keep you going.
Yeah.
But we were doing it before that.
We were?
Yeah. Like, we didn't start off doing Patreon. We did it for a year before we did Patreon. Almost positive.
Yeah. I don't remember.
All right, screw it. Let's get out of here.
Night.
All right, happy anniversary. See ya.
Happy anniversary.